The Supreme Court is now weighing in on access to abortion medication. A group of doctors against abortion rights sued after the FDA eased restriction on the pill. KCAL News reporter Natalie Brand live outside the Supreme Court with more on the arguments justices heard today. Natalie.
Hi, Leslie. And legal experts say that this decision could really come down to whether the doctors who oppose abortion who brought this case have the legal standing to do so. Today, during oral arguments, most of the justices appeared skeptical.
Hundreds demonstrated outside the U.S. Supreme Court during arguments on access to the abortion drug mifepristone.
We thought it was really important to support women and their right to obtain abortion safely.
The number one premise for me is that chemicals should never be used to take innocent life.
In 2016, the FDA extended the window women can take mifepristone from 7 to 10 weeks. And during the pandemic, it said an in-person doctor's visit was not needed, allowing mail-order pharmacies to ship the drug nationwide. Erin Hawley, who argued on behalf of some doctors opposed to abortion, says the FDA violated the law when it relaxed restrictions.
It's particularly appalling if the FDA based its 2021 decision to remove that in-person visit on studies it acknowledged were, quote, not adequate.
But FDA's ultimate conclusion was that mifepristone could safely be dispensed without in-person visits. It had voluminous evidence, I think, to support that conclusion in 2021, and there's been no contrary evidence that's been introduced.
The government also argued the doctors who brought the suit don't have legal standing because they were unlikely to be harmed by the changes.
Under federal law, no doctors can be forced against their consciences to perform or assist in an abortion, correct?
Yes, we think that federal conscience protections provide broad coverage here.
During arguments, both conservative and liberal justices focused on the issue of standing. Legal analysts say they appear inclined to side with the FDA.
Now, a decision is expected by late June or early July. If the court decides the doctors did not have standing here, it could dismiss the case without deciding the bigger issue of whether the FDA acted lawfully. Pharmaceutical companies have voiced concern that a far-reaching ruling could impact not only the abortion medication, but other drugs as well. Leslie.
Natalie Brand, live outside the Supreme Court. Thank you for your report, Natalie. Well, the search does continue for a Pasadena man who hasn't been seen since he went to grab some food during his vacation in Mexico. KCAL News' Michele Gile is working on that investigation.
The missing man's name is John French, and he lives here in Pasadena, and I've just interviewed his wife and his daughter, both of them very upset, of course, about this. And what they tell me is that it's been 5 days since they have heard from or seen their father and husband. Again, his name is John French. So here's how it happened according to the wife. Last week, they traveled from Pasadena to Tijuana, Mexico, where the wife was getting some dental work. They planned to stay for several days. Last Thursday, John French told his wife that their car was having trouble, a Mini that apparently was inoperable at that time. He was taking the car to a mechanic. It was around 8:45 p.m. and he said to his wife that he was going to go grab a burrito, and that's the last time that she saw him. His wife stayed for several days, couldn't find him, contacted the authorities, the consulate. They had nothing to report. She came across the border and is now back home in Pasadena, and that's where we interviewed her. So she's reached out to Pasadena police, trying to get some help there, and is now reaching out to the media, hoping that we can get the word out in case anyone has seen him.
Well, turning now to your weather, a live look from our beautiful Blue Ridge camera. Looks gorgeous out there. If you're headed up to the mountains this weekend, bring your rain gear. KCAL News meteorologist Olga Ospina has the latest conditions and what's ahead in your next weather. I think everyone needs their rain gear, right, Olga?
All of us are going to need that rain gear. We are looking at a significant storm headed our way as we head into the weekend. We still have a few days to enjoy the calm conditions. Some sunshine for some of us, including downtown Los Angeles, currently checking in at 65 degrees. And as we head into the next 12 hours, we're looking at numbers dropping down into the mid 60s by right around dinner time. And then tomorrow morning, you are waking up in the low 50s. We'll look at pretty similar temperatures as we head into tomorrow. Winds, not really a huge issue anymore. Those winds have really calmed down. Still a little breezy out through parts of the Antelope Valley, but still below advisory level. This is going to be the big change as we head into the next few days. So Wednesday, Thursday, dry. Late Friday, showers start to develop ahead of that storm moving in over the weekend, and that is going to impact also your Easter Sunday. You will see it here on our Futurecast. And again, we still have a few days of dry conditions. Temperatures pretty comfortable, close to average or slightly below that. Some of us getting into the low 70s. We're seeing that today, and we'll continue to see that on Wednesday and Thursday. But there is that storm already on Friday making its way into Southern California, bringing us some rain as well as some mountain snow. So some significant numbers, especially for the mountains and the foothills. You'll see it here in our rain totals. Monday, still a little bit of lingering moisture before that storm moves out as we head into later in the day on Monday and into Tuesday. So here's a look at some of the preliminary totals. We are still several days out, but numbers ranging between 1 and 3 inches for LA and Ventura County, as well as the Orange County area and the Inland Empire, but really high totals up in the mountains and foothills. We could be talking about 3 to 6 inches of rain, again, from Friday night into the early part of Monday. For the valleys, temperatures will continue in the low 70s Wednesday into Thursday with some sunshine. On Friday, temperatures start to drop as that storm starts to move in late in the day. And then by the weekend, temperatures dropping down into the low 60s. With some rain continuing for your Easter Sunday and into the early part of Monday before drying out and the 70s returning by Tuesday. As we head towards the mountains, we are looking at some snow, especially for those higher elevations. Numbers are going to be pretty high. We're looking at about 2 feet of snow right around 6,000 feet. So that's going to be at about resort level. So those resorts are going to be looking good with that snow. But if you're traveling in that direction, make sure to take the chains because treacherous driving conditions will be expected as we head into this weekend. Leslie.
Olga, thank you. A chance to lay near 2 Hollywood icons for eternity. Well, that is up for auction right now. Bids for a burial crypt located near Marilyn Monroe and Hugh Hefner will start at $50,000. The auction at Julian's begins on Thursday. Previous spots closer to the pair have sold for millions of dollars. Hefner bought his spot next to Monroe for just $75,000 in 1992.
A lot of the items here people could not use. This is one practical item, maybe a little bit more expensive, but of course you get to be buried alongside some of the most famous people in the world.
Other items related to Hefner's Playboy and Monroe's career are up for auction as well, including an evening gown the actress wore in the 7-Year Itch. There's also a program and ticket stub from President John F. Kennedy's birthday gala in 1962 when Monroe famously sang him happy birthday. Well, this has been CBS News Los Angeles, The Rundown. I'm Leslie Muddy. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back live at 4 here on CBS News Los Angeles.